Hey everybody, this is Allison. I just wanted to show you about a flower that I made for the Swap for Your Paper Pantry. And it's this flower here. And there's a long story behind this. I've been trying to figure out how to make a flower for probably the last couple of months. And back in May, my son come home from school and he had been in art. And they were doing the origami paper and making all kind of shapes. And he showed me a flower. And I just wanted to show you how it's made. This is after many pieces of paper that I've cut, and finally I figured it out Sunday. So I just wanted to share with everybody. You need 2 4x4s. You need 2 3x3s, 2 2x2s. And you can also have a 1x1, but they're very hard to cut because they're so small. But all you do is fold it. Looks like a triangle. Fold it over again. And fold it over again. And this part here is actually what he came home with, and it was like one of those, but it was folded a little bit different. It was like one of those footballs that you flick across the room. So I took it apart and was looking at it, and I couldn't make anything out of it. So that was probably maybe March, and it just laid in the scrap room for a couple months. And then a few weeks back, he come and said, "Mama, let me show you how the girls in the class cut those flowers to put in their hair," because he was always coming home telling me that the girls combed each other's hair and played with hair during their free time. And he showed me a flower that they cut. So what I done is I just took what he cut and done my own clipping and shaping and everything, and this is what I come up with. But it all started from this thing that looked like a little football from school. When you get it folded, you have the folded in here, a folded in here, and then you have an open in here. And I have figured out, after cutting up tons of paper, you have to cut it the right way to make it go into shape, or if you cut it the wrong way, it just falls to pieces. But you cut from your folded in to your open in. And all you have to do is cut it around to a shape like that. And then you open it up. And if you have the raw edges on them, you can clip them off or whatever, but I'm also going to be wetting it, so it really doesn't matter. I've already cut one there. And then this is the 3x3. You fold it. Fold it again. And this is the Martha Stewart cardstock that I got at Big Lots for $1. It is very thick paper. It's sort of hard to cut. You fold it again. Then you've got your folded side and your open side and your folded side. And you cut from your folded side to the open side. And just cut it around. And if you cut from the other side to the other side, what happens is it all falls apart. And they still fall apart on me now because I cut the wrong way. Then you have that. And then the 2x2s, they get just a little bit harder because they're smaller. And I have tried this with regular paper, the pattern paper, stuff like that, and they're much easier to cut because they are thinner. Just fold it. And fold it again. So you're going to cut from your folded side to the open side. And this is why it's hard to do a 1x1, because they do get really small and they're hard to cut. And I finally got some Tim Holtz scissors this past weekend. I go through scissors like crazy. I use these scissors like this here, and they don't last very long. And a few weeks ago, I bought some of the Cutter Bee scissors, and I really didn't like them. But these are the best scissors that you could ever buy. I love these things. Excuse me. Then you have that. And then the next thing that you're going to do is just wet it. And with the cardstock being so heavy, I've been putting a lot of water on it because it is so heavy. I just put it on the front and on the back. And that's something. After all this time I spent cutting paper and fooling with flowers, my 11-year-old son comes up and tells me how to cut a flower. And he said all the girls in his class, what they do is during their free time, they will cut each other's hair. I mean, not cut each other's hair, but they'll comb each other's hair and play with each other's hair. And I remember doing that when I was in school. But they cut these flowers, and they put rubber bands and strings and things in them. And he said they do them in all different colors. So I thought, well, that was cute. A 5th grade class showing me how to cut a flower. Now I'm just punching the holes in them, so I can put a brad through them. So this flower is thanks to my son. Kudos to him. He tries to make like he don't like scrapbooking, but I catch him up here a lot of times fooling with my stuff, especially the Copic markers, and he don't understand that those things are very expensive and you just can't sit and color with them. But I do let him use them anyway. Then you just start from your small to your large and kind of stagger them. Then you have your flower. And I always just spray it again. And I noticed with the other pattern paper, or whatever paper you use, you don't really have to use as much water on the other ones. But then you just pull them all up. And I could spray them again, but I'm not, because I'm trying to watch my time. I've already done one video on these and ran out of time. Then you get them all bunched up and just put them in a ball and spray them. Just crumple them. I think the more crumples that are in them, the prettier that they are. Then you just open them back up. And you can take more time with it and open them up really nice. But like I say, I'm just trying to get all this in one. Excuse me. But that's what it comes out to looking like. Is that right there? And with this Martha Stewart cardstock, they don't really tear as bad as the other paper does because it's so thick. But that's what it looks like. Then what I'm going to do is just put a some diamond dust with the glossy accents down in there and let it dry. And it does take these things a long time to dry. I made one, the one that I completed Sunday night, it took like till this morning to dry. I had it laying like that. I think because the cardstock's so thick and because it had so much water on it, then last night I had to flip it like that to let it dry. But it's all dried this morning. And that's what it looks like. And it's pretty durable. And I just added the glossy accents and some diamond dust and put a little pearl in there. And there's the other one. The more time you spend on the shapes with them, shaping them up, I think the prettier that they are. But what you can do on this one is glimmer mist it. You could ink the edges, just sit there and fool with it and play with it. But I think it turns out pretty good like that. I like that. But I know that if you put some ink on it or whatever, it would look really, really nice. But then once you finish, you just let them dry, like I said, and then that's what you come out with, are these here. Now, I had to make 6 of these for Your Paper Pantry, the flower swap for June. And here's what it looks like. I just made one of the lollipop flowers with a stick pin. That's one of the organza flowers. And those are the little charms that I got at Big Lots on that whole string for $2. And then the flower we just made. And that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.